Hi, everybody. It's Coach's Corner. I'm your host, Joe Calderone. Joining us for this segment, head coach of the UAlbany women's lacrosse team, John Badalito. John, what's going on? It has been a full 7 days since you've been sitting in that chair. And before the taping of last week, we talked about how you had a game that day. You go out, you leave the taping, you guys go out there, you beat Binghamton 14-4. In that game, you get a monster performance from Rachel Bowles, who we actually just sat down there and talked to her for one of our player profiles. She had 7 points in that game, 3 goals, 4 assists. I know I sound like a broken record when I talk about a couple of players here, but boy, it's nice to have a player like that on your team, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, she is. She's a pleasure. It's nice to have her back and have her healthy, and again, she makes kids around her better. So, and it's a good teammate, and she makes things. It's great. It's great to have her around. Yeah.
Sure. So you follow that 14-4 win, and again, this is to get our fans of the UAlbany women's lacrosse team all caught up here. After that 14-4 win, you follow that up with a big 16-6 win. In that game, Dakota Savichev, 7 goals. So you get Bowles, you got Savichev going. Now you guys are 3-0 in conference play. You gotta be feeling pretty good about yourself. I know you got 5 more games after that, but feeling good being undefeated in conference play at that point.
Oh no, it was definitely. I mean, I liked the way we we adjusted throughout the Binghamton game, and just especially with the weather, we didn't have our hands early on, and then going on the road, a couple days later, and I think we played 3 games in like about 6 days.
Yeah.
So and then going on the road and doing pretty well there, and then and then getting back yesterday and having with really a day of preparation and just trying to put a game plan together and compete with Syracuse.
Yeah. Also in that game against UMBC, you had 4 goals out of Rachel Bowles. At that point, that tied her for the most career goals in program history. Now, I say that to set up this. Yesterday, I know talking to a lot of people throughout the week, probably one of the more highly anticipated non-conference games you guys have had in a while. Syracuse comes in; they're ranked 4th in the country. They've got just 1 loss in ACC play, and early on, not only did you guys play with them, but you really kind of were, at least from my vantage point, almost standing right on the field with you, doing that game for Time Warner Cable Sports. You jump out to the 2-zip lead. You outshot them 12-8 in the opening 30 minutes of the game. I mean, feeling good at that point, or it was like, listen, this is great, it's a great start, but we still got a long ways to go?
I mean, I always want more. I mean, I felt we could have been up. We could have had easily 3 more goals there had we just finished our shot or just within a half an inch or inch, and again the goalie came out. We told the kids they were going to come out and try to shoot around them, and we did, yeah. But I was like, we got to finish those. We practiced that, and we were capable of it. And again, we maintained possession, and we saw some opportunities, and they tried to take code out. But I felt like person that we had in there to adjust, and we had different scenarios in terms of what they were going to do, and Julie did fine. She had 2 goals, and yeah. That's what I'm talking about. We had a couple other opportunities in there too, and just got to find a way to put it away.
Mm-hmm. So after you jump out to that 2-zip lead, Syracuse answers, closing out that first half with a 3-zip run. They take a 3-2 lead at the half. Then they open up the second half with 2 more goals. You're down 5-2, but then your team, at least to me, and again I was right on the field watching it, showed some moxie, showed some guts. They answer with a 3-zip run to tie it at 5. That 5th goal is Rachel Bowles' 161st. So not only does it tie the game at a crucial point, it gives her the all-time career goals record at UAlbany. Then Syracuse answers with a nut. I mean, it was a great game. I know it was a loss, but a great game to watch because it was just back and forth. Nobody gave in. They jump out to an 8-5 lead after that. Then you guys answer with 2 more, and the game ends with an 8-7 loss. We were talking about it before the taping. To watch it, I was exhausted. To coach and play in it, it must have been pretty exhausting.
I mean, I'm still reworking a lot of the things that went on, and it was exhausting. And I'll tell you what, it was when Rachel tied it up 5-5. Like, that was one of the more exciting plays that I this year or any time at lacrosse like that, I really remember just like throwing my fist through the air, like it was just like seeing the back of that net go up, and just like, you know, that was fun, and I just thought it you know, just it to show the kids that, you know, they belong, and especially like we started off the season a little slow, and I was like, they can play with anybody, they really can, I liked the way that we competed, like the word you used was the moxie, and they, you know, I just feel like they weren't intimidated, and they kept coming at them, and I was proud of that. I've been, you know, that's what I've been pushing for, and I saw it out.
Was that because I was right on the field, and I know after the game, and I know there was some media around, you're getting interviews and things like that, but once that was done, I saw you gather them one more time. Was that the message? Like, listen, I know, and I've known you long enough to know you're not into the moral victories, but was that the message? Like, hey, listen, it stinks that we lost this game, but you were right there with them neck and neck. Was that kind of like, hey, listen, this shows even in defeat we can play with and beat anybody if we're playing the right way?
Yeah, I mean, just in terms of the decision making, different people scored. It was just, I just liked the way we went about our business, and like that to me, that mindset, like that has to be there. They really wanted to take care of the ball. They knew how important each possession was. They really fought to get possession back when we didn't have it, and I did. It was just, I was proud of them, and that's what I told them. And a couple of them felt bad for this or that, and I just grabbed them like, no, like there's so many things that happen during a game.
Next matchup, and this, when we do these coaches' corners, we interview a bunch of coaches at the same time, and I'm always, some of these are very self-serving. Maybe I'll write a book someday, but they're very self-serving for me because I'm always fascinated about the psychology. Here you are, you're playing with one of the best teams in the nation. You're on a high. You got UMass Lowell. Not that you take anybody for granted. Is that like now a big part of prepping them this week to say, listen, we're here for Syracuse. We gotta match that for UMass Lowell. There can't be a letdown on Saturday.
Right. I mean, there are just certain things. Again, it's some of that's a little natural, and you guard against it because there is so much material out there for the kids to look at and read and remember, and whatnot. And you just, it's almost like it's like you're not playing another team. We're playing ourselves here. We're challenging ourselves to get better at different aspects, and when teams do this and then execute on those things. So that's what I'm like. It's almost like golf. You're not going out and you're not playing the guy next to you. You're playing the course, and that's how I want him to think.
He's the head coach of the UAlbany women's lacrosse team, John Battolino. Right, John, thank you so much. And again, like we remind you all the time, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, tell a friend about UAlbanySports.com. That's another Coach's Corner in the books. I'm Joe Calderon. We'll see you next time.